Okay guys, I'm at the Shooters and Fishers stand at the SSAA SHOT Show. With me is Robert and Jason. Robert, thank you very much for your time, and Jason also thank you very much. Well, the purpose of this review is to get out there information about the Shooters and Fishers Party. A lot of you may or may not have heard of it out there. Basically, this review, we're going to go into a little bit of background about it and hopefully educate the public with what the Shooters and Fishers Party stand for. Robert, can you give us just a little bit of a background on how the party was formed?
Well, the party was formed over 20 years ago by its founder, John Tingle, here in Sydney, and it pretty quickly became a national phenomenon.
Right.
In 1995, John got elected to the New South Wales Upper House as an MLC, and since 2007 we've had two members in the Upper House in New South Wales. At the last election in 2011, we've got ourselves into a reasonably good position as far as the new government's concerned.
Yep.
With a coalition government with a very large majority in the lower house, but no majority in the upper house. So the majority of things that they want to do really don't go down the track that someone like the Greens are going to agree with, but they certainly, we can work with the government if they're prepared to be accepting of the hunting and shooting sports and of course the fishing related sports in New South Wales.
Okay, so what's the main principles of the party?
Well, the main principles really are protection of freedoms to hunt, shoot, fish, enjoy the outdoors. And that's really what it's all about. And a large part of our party platform is about access to public land and public waters. We recently had a bill passed through Parliament calling for a moratorium on any new marine parks, and that was supported by the government. And we've been instrumental in getting state forests opened, and we've just last week did a deal with the government to get national parks hunting open in New South Wales. There are 790 national parks in New South Wales, and all but about 40 will eventually be declared for hunting.
Right, okay, yeah, that's an excellent achievement. So with the party, basically, obviously, you have a couple of members in Parliament now, two members. That's correct.
That's right.
So, I mean, that's a win for all of us. I think people often you'll hear people whinge and complain about seeing their hunting rights or shooting rights starting to dwindle away in their opinions. Me personally, from what I've seen when I've been at shooting ranges and so forth like that, try to just take the time to explain to people all the whinging in the world won't change a thing. You need to be involved with basically a political party like yourself, who can actually make some changes, because it just doesn't happen on the ground, does it?
Look, the nature of politics and the nature of the media these days really requires us to be politically active up front and, if you like, in the face of the people that don't like what we do. The Greens have run a very careful and calculated strategy over 25 to 30 years, and from a very small, almost ridiculous base in Tasmania are now managing to basically control Australia. And there is no reason at all, given the large numbers of support of shooters around Australia, and there's well over 1 million, and if you throw the fishers in as well, there's probably another 3 or 4 million. There's a very, very large constituency there. If they want to become active, you can't go below the radar anymore. You have to be out there. You have to argue your case in the court of public opinion, but you also have to argue it at the ballot box.
That's right.
And if you're not successful at the ballot box, then you will not be able to continue to hunt, shoot, fish, and even have access anymore to waters or access to national parks. The program that the Greens have been running for decades has really been an exercise in lock it up and leave it. They've been basically in partnership with the Labor Party in New South Wales for 15 or 16 years doing that. We've managed, we hope, in the next 4, 8, 10 years to break that nexus and turn the use of national parks and marine parks into sustainable use zones where we don't endanger the natural environment, but what we do is work to get feral animals out, allow fishers to go into those marine parks and harvest fish according to sustainable use criteria.
Excellent. And that's what I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with different political parties may or may not be aware of is, the fact that shooters may be going to national parks or different fishers going into different areas aren't going in there to basically, for the sake of choosing a word, rape and pillage the environment. It's calculated, for example, with shooters to destroy pest species.
That's right. Look, it's a well-known fact now. New South Wales has got the track track record. Over the last 6 years with conservation hunting in state forests, well over 1 million feral animals have been removed from basically state and private land by registered hunters in New South Wales, by our licensed hunters. So it's a very, very important initiative. It costs the taxpayers nothing, but what it does do, it allows people who want to engage in the hunting and shooting sports to get out and enjoy the outdoors and see what a great state we live in. And that same paradigm also will work for the whole of Australia. But what shooters and hunters have to do is embrace that and become politically active, take the fight not just at a state level, but take the fight to Canberra as well. That's where the ultimate battles will be fought. If the Greens have control of the Senate now, there's absolutely no reason why shooters and fishers shouldn't have control of the Senate sometime in the future in exactly the same way.
Well, let's certainly hope so that we all get to that. And so what can we do if there's someone watching this and they're saying, well, okay, what can I do? I'm not a very political person. Is there some way that I can help the shooters and fishers still?
What we recommend is they go online and join the party, put their name down as a volunteer. It doesn't take a lot, but when you're in the process as a member, you can then participate also on election day. If you want to join a branch, you should do it. If you're in another state of Australia, in Western Australia, the West Australian branch is being revitalised. Any other state, Northern Territory's got an active group up there.
Great.
We're more than happy to talk to anyone who wants to try to get involved.
Okay. And what sort of things, perhaps Jason, you could answer this, is in relation to like donations and so forth. Can people get involved that way with the party?
Absolutely. Donations is a large way in which you can support the shooters and fishers. Particularly in regards to, in the last couple of weeks, there's been some new donation laws come through, which have affected the way that all political parties can gain donations in New South Wales. Effectively now, large organisations such as SSAA, any company in general, in the past could donate to the party in large organisations on behalf of members. Really what's happened now, they've really just knocked that on the head. They've said now the only way a political party can take a donation is via a registered electoral voter. So now the fight is not up to your club or your association, it's actually up to you as an individual now to make a cultural change, put $10 into the party or whatever you may be able to afford. So the old days of relying on someone else to be able to do the work for you have actually gone. So it's up to every shooter, fisher, four-wheel drive, horse rider. If they want to maintain their rights in the outdoors at the moment, they need to get involved in any way they can, particularly donating to the party.
Excellent.
And you can do that via our website.
And what's the website, just for the people? I'll put it on the bottom of this review anyway for people to click onto it. But what is the website?
www.shootersandfishers.org.au.
Okay, excellent. And anywhere from $10 up, is that the donation?
From $1 up.
From $1 up. Okay,
we'll take anything.
We're asking for hundreds and thousands of dollars from people. In actual fact, it's capped now. You can legally only take a donation of $5,200 from a registered electoral voter.
Per annum.
Per annum.
But what you can do is you can click the button and just give regular. So you might decide you only want to give $10 a year or $10 a month. You can do that.
Okay. And well, that's the thing, guys. You've got to get involved with this sort of thing. I've been a long time promoter of being involved politically with these sort of political parties. If you value your fishing rights, your hunting rights, things like that, you can't be sitting back on the couch now, just as Jason explained. You've got to get involved in this sort of thing. And it's as easy as just logging onto a website and making a donation to help a good fight. These guys are great guys. Please support them. All right, guys, I won't hold you up any longer. I thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Thanks again. Great.
Thanks.